south of Buffalo. We'll have the showers and storms around through early this evening. So here's a look at your forecast for today. Temperatures in the mid 70s right now. Will be up in the low 80s by lunchtime. 85 degrees, humid with scattered showers and thunder showers later today.
All right, Aaron, thank you. This is breaking overnight in North Buffalo. A 2-alarm fire ripping through a home on Beard Avenue, right about a block away from Shoshone Park. Take a look. This all started around 11:30 last night in the attic of this home. You can see the smoke just pouring out of that window. This fire did about $300,000 damage. Nobody here was hurt, but the Red Cross is now helping 6 people who were living there. Investigators are trying to figure out what caused this one to start.
5:02 on a Thursday morning. For weeks, the I-Team has been working to get Lockport Police to release information about their own policies on body cameras after the death of Troy Hodge in police custody last month. Now, after 5 different requests, we finally received that policy, and it tells a much different story than what police have been saying. Lockport Interim Police Chief Stephen Priest told the I-Team there is body camera video of the scene, but he says it only shows parts of what happened from different officers arriving on scene. He said those officers are not required to have body cameras rolling at all times, but that's not necessarily the truth. While the department's own policy says recordings will not be required if it would be unsafe, impossible, or impractical, it also says explicitly once the system has been activated, it shall not be deactivated until the event has concluded and the officer drives away from the scene. The day after Troy Hodge died in police custody, the chief said those cameras are not dependable.
They break, they fall off, batteries die in them.
If there was a broken, damaged, or malfunctioning camera, the officer would be responsible. According to the policy, the body camera equipment is the responsibility of the officer assigned to maintain in good working order. Officers also have to report loss or damage to the camera. So that said, we're working to see if any of that was reported and or documented. In an effort to be totally transparent with you, I have reached out to the police chief, and I did so earlier this week to ask him some questions about this. He's on vacation, but I left a message with another higher-ranking member that has not been returned. Of course, we're going to stay on top of this for you, Katie.
All right, this morning, state police are investigating a motorcycle crash that killed a Lockport man. They say the driver crashed into another vehicle on Lower Mountain Road in Cambria just after 5:30 yesterday. 56-year-old Stephen Tumor was taken to Eastern Niagara Hospital. He was pronounced dead. No charges have been filed. Well, some of your lawmakers are going to be along Lake Ontario today. They're visiting businesses impacted by the water level crisis.
And 7 Eyewitness News reporter Jeff Slauson is live for us in the newsroom. And Jeff, there are a lot of business owners and a lot of people up there who are just suffering.
Yeah, it's been a really tough couple of years for them. 16,000 people, including a lot of those business owners, have actually signed a petition requesting President Trump remove Plan 2014. That regulates the water levels along Lake Ontario. Now, with those businesses, they're saying that they're losing thousands of dollars in tourism as a result of the water levels actually being that high. Lots of piers underwater, beaches are closed, and docks completely unusable. It's leading to a drought for tourism in many areas along Lake Ontario. In Lewiston, for instance, $1.6 million was allocated to replace dock damage caused by the high water levels back in 2017. But none of the money that was actually able to be used right now because the levels are so high again, they can't do any of the construction. The village says they are losing out on $30,000 in rental fees. And one local lawmaker is putting the blame squarely on the IJC, saying it is their responsibility to help the people along the lake.
I think the federal government and I think the IJC has a responsibility because in their own plan, they admitted that there would be impacts financially to these communities. And so I just don't think it's fair to say New York State, you, Town of Wilson, Town of Somerset, Niagara County, Orleans County, you have to be the ones exclusively to put these funds forward. I think the IJC has a responsibility financially.
In a statement, the IJC said that water levels are declining on Lake Ontario and that they will continue to the record outflows until mid-August. Lake Ontario community members are trying to get a piece of $300 million being done by the State Ready Committee. Local lawmakers from those areas are going to be out on Lake Ontario today in Wilson and Olcott to try and see if anything can be done for them, but very difficult times for a lot of businesses up there. Katie, Ed.
Yeah, really feeling for all those business owners there.
Especially with empty restaurants, it's just it's a financial impact and a burden for so many people.
Very frustrating too. All right, Jeff, thank you. County Executive Mark Poloncarz is breaking his silence on the green light law, which allows undocumented immigrants to get licenses.
He issued a statement saying he doesn't believe the law benefits the people of Erie County and he cannot support it. He cited significant legal issues that exist in the law, including the question of its constitutionality. A lawsuit over that very issue that you're paying for is playing out right now after County Clerk Mickey Kearns sued the state. So here's what we need to know. Poloncarz hadn't really been clear about his stance on the law. It's led his rivals to attack him. In mid-June, Lynn Dixon, who's challenging Poloncarz this fall, came out against the law and pressed Poloncarz to do the same thing. County Controller Stefan Mihaila did the same thing as well. At that point, a spokesperson for the county executive told 7 Eyewitness News Poloncarz wouldn't be weighing in at the time.
This is new this morning. New York's Attorney General has settled with ticket resale companies. They may have pulled a fast one on you. The AG says Ticket Network, Ticket Galaxy, and their owner tricked tens of thousands of customers. She says people bought tickets to events that the sellers didn't actually own. Now they have to pay more than $1.5 million as part of their settlement with the state and also adopt stricter disclosures about company practices. The Boston Veterinary Clinic says these two little kittens